While many people believe that Tantra originated in India, the origins of Tantra can actually be traced back to 2000 BCE in the Indus Valley, as well as the old Egyptian kingdom. If we look deeper, we even find aspects of Tantric principles spread throughout different religions such as Judaism, Christianity, Sufism, Buddhism, and Chinese Taoism, to name a few. The practice of Tantra became more refined in India from 300 to 400 CE and started being practiced more widely during the 11th and 12th centuries. During this time, three major schools of Tantric practice emerged. They were the Kaula, Misra, and Samaya schools. The Kaula school derives its techniques directly from Hindu practices and traditions. The main focus is on the worship of Shakti, or the divine feminine energy. There are distinctive rituals that are completed, such as taking pilgrimages and the reading of sacred scriptures such as the Vedas. There are also fire offerings and meditations. The belief was that through various rituals using symbolism such as geometric patterns and sacred geometry, one could become connected with this higher power of the Shakti energy. As time went by, the Kaula school of Tantra began to split off into two different groups that were essentially dichotomies of each other. One was known as the right-hand path and the other as the left-hand path. The left-hand path of the Kaula school broke the conventional social and cultural norms of the time and was seen as taboo. Some of the rituals included using mind-altering substances, eating meat, and there was a heavy emphasis played on the physical and emotional act of having sex to merge with the divine feminine energy. Because the left-hand path directly defied religious norms of the time, it was labeled as black magic and was thought to employ devil worship. However, this was not actually the case. The belief was that by breaking away from the traditional religious dogma, the practices of the left-handed path made the magic even more potent, and this would help liberate one from suffering. The right-hand path was essentially the opposite. Practitioners of this path stayed within the boundaries of what was believed to be socially acceptable at the time. In fact, the act of sex was not even used in the different rituals. Instead, there was a large emphasis on the use of symbolism through yantras and mandalas to represent the act of sex. Because these practices were seen as more orthodox, it was said that this was the practice of white magic and was even referred to as white Tantra. It abides by a specific moral code, and there is a firm belief in some form of judgment of the practitioner, such as karma or the rule of three. Simply put, the rule of three states that whatever energy a person puts out into the world, be it positive or negative, it will be returned to that person 3 times. It is interesting to note that while the practices of the right hand and the left hand paths are in direct opposition to each other, the actual end goal is the same. That purpose is to connect with the divine feminine energy of the universe. It may come as a surprise to many, but the right hand and the left hand paths were also conceptualized in Buddhist teachings. Here, however, the right hand path was associated with a more masculine energy representing compassion, while the left hand path represented the feminine energy which symbolized wisdom. In both of these paths, the female is always depicted as being to the left side of the male. This dichotomy is similar to yin and yang. While they may appear as opposites to each other, one cannot exist without the other. You need both the male and female aspects of energy working together in harmony to achieve that equanimity or middle ground. The second major school of Tantra was referred to as Misra. Misra can literally be defined as mixture. The main focus of the Misra school was to mix or blend both internal and external energy sources to create internal harmony. The focus or practice of meditation was on the heart center or heart chakra. Meditations and rituals were directed to the devotion of the divine feminine energy. Many practitioners of the Mishra school believe strongly in external behaviors such as a vegan diet, non-violence, and humbly serving others. Again, the act of sex itself was not a major part of the Mishra school. Instead, it employed absolute devotion to a divine feminine energy, with the focus of this energy entering through the heart chakra and permeating the entire body. The third school of Tantra was called Samaya. Samaya means one with her. Practitioners of the Samaya school focused on moving energy from the third eye through the crown chakra. This was done through the practice of breath work and meditation. Again, there was no mention of the physical and emotional act of sex. Instead, the sexual energy was substituted through yantras and other symbolic means. It relied heavily on meditation while focusing on the yantras for sexual energy. Samaya practitioners believed that this divine sexual energy would bring one closer to the divine feminine energy of the universe. In the next episode, we will look at Tantra as it exists today.